Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday morning. It's a few minutes after 10, and I'm Connie Myers. So this must be to 70 and beyond. And I am starting the program and today by just saying how grateful I am to say that the election is over. Whether you're happy or sad, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is I'm really grateful that there's no more advertising. I don't know about you guys, but I've got stacks of pieces of mail for weeks now, and I'm really glad that it's not going to be filling up my mailbox anymore. And just really grateful that we can now hopefully come together. And how can we do that? We can come together by just being grateful that we are living in the nation that we're living in. And for me personally, I'm really grateful for being able to move forward now, and hopefully we can bring this country together. And so if you know someone that you have been disagreeing with for the last few months, maybe just reach across the aisle and have a cup of coffee, whether it's virtual or not. So I have a lot of other really exciting things I want to talk to you about today. And I was going to give you the second edition of Cheryl Knowlton's book. However, I came to visit my friend Kitty in California, and I forgot to bring the book with me. So we will pick that back up next week when I'm back in Vegas. I'm also really, really, really grateful for sprinkles and rain. In Las Vegas, we have been, as of tomorrow, we'll have 200 days without rain. The record up until now was 150 days. So we've gone an extra month and a half or month and 2/3 past the record without having any rain. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get some rain to break that record. So I'm really grateful for the cool temperatures. It's been crazy, crazy hot. I don't know where, I'm sure parts of the country you're probably crazy, crazy cold. But Las Vegas has been like, it's still running 10 to 12 degrees above normal. So I'm really grateful to be able to wear a long sleeve shirt and be able to have long pants on and feel like I could even wear a sweater at the moment. So I'm really grateful for that. But even more important, I said last week that I was going to have some big announcements. Well, there's one of them that I still can't quite talk about yet, but I will be in the next few days. So I'll be coming on live throughout the week to bring you all these other new great announcements. As you all know, I have been working on for over, since the pandemic, the last 3 courses, but it's been over a year now that I've been working on the Crisis Knowledge Management Certification. It went live 2 weeks ago, and we've been busily out there talking to people, talking with associations, talking with companies, and it's all coming together. And I am so very grateful for everybody that wants to extend a hand and help. I've got a webinar next week with Woman Up, part of their wisdom series. And then the following week, I've got 2 webinars, actually 3 webinars that I'm doing. One of them, I'm going to be showing the flyer here in a minute, is one I want you to come to. It's a free webinar called Disaster Preparedness 101. And I'm going to talk about just the very basics of what you need to do and why it's so important. You know, as 2020 is nearing an end, we're all saying, oh, God, let's just get this year over with. Well, what about 2021? Do you think that New Year's Eve, that magically everything we've been experiencing, we already know that COVID's still going to be around in January and parts of next year. We've had disasters off the charts. Do we really truly believe that magically on January 1st, 2021, they're all going to come to an end? No, that's not going to happen. All we can do is pray that 2021 is a better year than next year. But that being said, and let me see now if I can share this screen with you. Let's see. Share in. Well, that didn't work. Let me hide that. Let me see. Let me pull it up this way. Screen. Here we go. Share. I'm going to take this down and put this up. Okay, let me go to that and share with you. So we really, really, really need to be prepared for these disasters that are coming up. And the only way to do that is to know exactly what it is you have to do. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger here. Well, maybe not. Anyway, so this is a webinar I am doing on, oops, okay, there we go. This is a webinar that I'm doing on November 17th. And did you know that more than 60% of Americans believe that they are likely to be impacted by a disaster in the next 3 to 5 years? How about you? Have you already been through a disaster this year? I mean, the majority of the U.S., not counting the pandemic, but were you in the Midwest when the derecho winds came through? Were you in California, or actually the whole Western United States has been on fire? Have you experienced a fire in NATO? The wind and that spawned like 50 or more tornadoes in the Southeast. Were you a part of that? Have you been a part of a hurricane that has come in? At one point, we had 2 in the Gulf all at one time. Have you been a part of that? Have you been a part of the major tornadoes that have come across the Midwest? Almost every section of the country has been affected by some kind of disaster. So if you're part of that 60% that feels that they're likely to be impacted by a disaster, now is the time. And this webinar, I am giving you the basics of what you need to have and to support you in putting your plans together. Less than 35% of it have a disaster kit. So if you look at the numbers, there's some statistics out there that say anywhere from 15% of people have their financial plan in place, up to 35% that have an emergency kit. But does that emergency kit have everything in it? And did you know that you need more than 1 emergency kit? You need 4 emergency kits. This is why you need to tune in. And there's certain things you need to have in that emergency kit that people don't think about. So I'm going to be talking about all of that. I'm also going to be talking about preparing your business. FEMA has a statistic that they've shown that a company or a business that does not have a preparedness plan, if they are experiencing some type of disaster, in 2 years, 95% of those businesses are going to be gone. Let's take a look at exactly what's happened with the pandemic and what could have been done, and what maybe there's some things that we couldn't have been done to help. But really knowing what you need to have in your plan, and how to create a crisis management team, whether it's personally or well as business. And a lot of the things I talk about in this, it's not just if it's a natural disaster or a man-made disaster like a pandemic or a mass shooting or a power outage. These are things that can happen that can also benefit if there's some type of a crisis in your life or in your business. So it's not just about, because maybe you're like in Nevada, we can have floods, we can have fires, we can have earthquakes, but Las Vegas is pretty safe when it comes to natural disasters. We've already had a mass shooting, and we've obviously got a pandemic going on. So there's other kinds of things, but there's also crisis that can happen, where if you work yourself into a mindset of how you're prepared for a disaster of any kind, then you're also preparing yourself for other types of crisis. And are you the right leader for your crisis team? And are you going to be an effective leader when something happens? It's very important to know, if you are not the right leader, you might have a very successful business, but that successful business doesn't mean that you might be a good leader for a disaster. Why is a crisis management team so important for your business? It's critical. And it's not just for your business. You also need to have a crisis management team for your personal life. And what kind of communication plan do you have? You know, in the statistic, they talk about having an emergency kit is 35%. Having a plan is 34%, but maybe it's just one plan. In my information, there are 6 types of plans you need to look at to see if they are applicable for your personal life as well as your business. And then how to really grow and be a leader in your community to help with disasters. Being prepared is the difference between being self-reliant. The emergency management people say that you need to be prepared for up to 48 to 72 hours, because just maybe the first responders will not be able to get to you, and it'll take that much time. So you have to be self-reliant. You have to know exactly when it comes time to grabbing and going what you need to take. A friend of mine who went through the Malibu fires, when she got the knock on the door and she had 15 minutes to get out, she said she spun around in a circle for a good part of that time trying to figure out what to take. And then when they got to the shelter, that she had forgotten to bring anything for her little girls. So knowing exactly what you need to have and how to go, that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to be putting a link to the webinar. Again, it's on November 17th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Time. I hope you can join us. It's totally free. It's my gift to you for supporting me and everything that so many of my people and all of you have done to help me get this off the ground. So I'm looking forward to that. So let me stop sharing now. Go back here. So all of those things I am extremely grateful for. My vision, and I'm sure you've heard this before, my vision is to help 30 million people be prepared, more prepared than they are. Just because you have an emergency kit doesn't mean you're prepared. Just because you may have a communication plan doesn't mean you're prepared. Just because you have a fire extinguisher doesn't mean you're prepared. You take, and 15% they say have financial plans. Don't you think maybe that's one of the most important things you can think about? And how many businesses have business continuity plans? Well, if only 3% of businesses have business plans, how many of them have business? They may know where the fire extinguishers are and how to evacuate a building, but how many of them truly have real plans in place? So please, please, please join me on November 17th at noon Pacific and 3 Eastern Time, and we'll give you some guidelines on what you need to do and give you some tools to be able to make that happen. I am so grateful for everything that's happened this last few months, and I really appreciate all the input and everybody. The course is called Crisis Knowledge Management Certification. You can find it. I'll put a link on the website or on the Facebook to it, so you can sign up for it. We've got special pricing going right now. Anyway, I hope that you have a beautiful Saturday, and that I'll be able to look in on you again next Saturday on to 70 and beyond. See you then. God bless and have a great week. Bye now.